Singing don't, singing don't worry, dee about a thing, dee 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry, dee about a thing, dee 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Hello, guys and dolls of YouTube land. Alexander Smith coming at ya as usual. And as you can see, I can see one person who's lurking. I didn't shirk that way. I didn't look that way. 'Cause I did it my way. I'm just waiting for people to come in, as in to do or to talk about the live and also talk about the title of the live and why I have said what I have said on the title. And I will explain in detail of what the title is about and why the title has came about, because everybody or certain people saw the video which was put out and was unedited, and a mistake was made in that video, and a mistake was rectified in the next video, and it's clearly stated of what was found or what was shown in the video to prove that it wasn't done deliberately. It was done accidentally, as because sometimes I run through things and either it could have maybe not have it maybe didn't have a battery, as in that's why it said it didn't charge. It could have been as in it could have been a faulty charger, as in it maybe been an old charger or a used charger, and it just happened to not have the power, as in to deliver enough power to that phone at the time. The phone could have been cold, as in cold conditions, as in, and that's why it didn't power up, or it said on it no charge. Maybe other people are not interested in phones, but I'm going to explain quite a few things in detail. And no, I am not, as I said in the description, no, I will not be giving up coins, because I do like to find stuff and I like to show things that either I've bought, because I do not get nothing for free, and I do not ask for anything for free, because that's not the way I am, never have been. And as you can see, there's a coin showing under the microscope. And which one is it? It's the one that looks like a 50p piece. And it is a different country, but there's a bird that looks like an eagle of 1960. There's one that's in 1998. And as you can see, I'm not sure totally. Well, there's the country there, Cyprus. So Cyprus are very much like the same shape as ours, because if you put, I'm going to show you, if you put a 50p piece over the top, it is actually the same size as our 50p piece. It's actually the same size as it. I see 3 people watching now, and I do not see anybody in the StreamYard chat. And you're more welcome, or whoever is more welcome. If I know you, you're more welcome to come up and panel if you would like to. Because I haven't been live for quite a while, and I don't know who's on tonight or who is actually other else is streaming tonight, and I do not really care as in who is streaming tonight, because no, I never noticed that. That says MD there. Fireman CV is a dragon. It is, or not a dragon, it's a lion. It's a lion. It's on a 50p piece, one of our 50p pieces. But Cyprus is actually the same size. So it is. No, as I said, I won't be. I must have touched something. Oh, you bugger. It's jumped. It's plugged itself out. I think the microscope or the strange. That's weird. Oh, front camera, maybe it jumped. Oh, it jumped. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would be wouldn't class that as a dragon. It's a bird with a twig in its mouth with a shield. Really? Because I'm now finding out that the 50p, as in the normal circulated 50p, I'm now finding out is collectible, and there is ones that are NIFC in the non-circulated or non-into-intender, as in by other streams watching, as in on Facebook and noticing. But there can be errors on these coins as well, as in errors on the 50p pieces, because there's the line going off the 50p piece, so there's no, as in these, the back of them, because there's usually 3 lines. Because the lines are actually the guarders or the protectors on the Buckingham Palace. One side is a unicorn. One side is a unicorn, and the other side is a. But she was pictured 5 different times. So she was Queen Elizabeth II, but she wasn't taken out. They're not taking them out of circulation yet. They're sort of gradually putting the King Charles ones in. but they've not said yet they're taking them out. The Queen Elizabeth II one's out of circulation yet by the bank or anything. There's no been any statement said about them at the moment. So, because I found a Jeremy Fisher. But as I said, I'm not coming out of coins. I'm just saying that what I was trying to say is that people will notice the video, as in the other day, as in the phones are basically, or the cell phones are taking over. So that's why I was saying about I've been taken over. No, I haven't been given a sponsorship or been put into a sponsorship or an email saying about a sponsorship. I actually turned down a company who were willing to give me products to review, as in many moons ago, and I says, well, what am I getting out of it? Are you going to pay me? And as soon as I mentioned money, they buggered off. Maybe at that time I wasn't really thinking about it, but when they wanted to give me this stuff, it was basically they wanted me to product review phone cases, and I was like, do I really want to be doing that? Because it says, oh, we've seen the video, and we quite like the way your videos, been done. So I emailed them back and said, what video are you talking about? Because I have quite numerous of videos. And they said it's the two ones on the phone and on the phones. And I thought, well, so I said, well, what is it you're proposing? What you proposing at the time? And they went into specific details. And when I said to them about, well, are you going to actually pay me for doing these videos as in product reviews? Because I didn't realise that when you do a product review, they actually let you have the product for nothing, because they send it out to you and then you product review what you think about the product in question. And I didn't know this at the time. I just went on, well, how much are you going to pay me for my time? That's what my thought was at the time about it. Because I thought, well, you're going to make money off of me, as in doing this product review, as in you try and put it onto my subscribers, but is my subscribers going to buy phone cases back then? Phone cases? Because my channel is a bit of hit and miss. It's about the journey of starting up social media or not understanding social media and trying to understand how social media worked, and why it worked the way it did. Because that is my whole way of thinking about something, is how does it work and why does it work, whatever way it does. And that's when I found out about social media, when I started looking into it more, I found out that I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't a clue, as in how to actually do social media properly. And that's when I get into, because I found out about YouTube by accident, as in by watching Classic Truck Rescue and want to comment to their channel. And this is how I got into YouTube. But I hadn't a clue about social media, how social media actually worked. I had a Facebook account, but I never really used it properly. And at the time I thought, well, maybe it's worth getting into social media. Maybe it would help my hobby, as in that I do. Hi JP, and that was all the whole idea of getting into it. I'm talking about JP, how I started and why it started and whatever else, because I really built the channel, or I really built the YouTube channel for doing phones, more phones than actual coins. And the thing was, as in got in me, as in we watching Ian Matthews videos, and Ian Matthews at the time was shouting out Robert Nurden on a Thursday night, and I try to follow Ian as in because I liked the way he sounded, I liked the way he done things, I liked the way that he was coming across, and I went to try and see them, but I didn't know there was a fallout with Hazy Days at the time, and getting me Hazy Days or getting me sort of people or following the chat or whatever. Hazy Days, and Hazy Days and you Dizzy, and this was what carried on. But eventually, after that, I decided that it was basically Baggett's Corner, which is Vincent. Vincent actually egged me on and said about the leg, and this is where it started with the video, the first video that I ever started. Now that video still gets viewed to this day. That video has got a lot of, as in, viewings. It hasn't got the followers behind it. This channel hasn't got the followers behind it. It's not got the potential of like Ian Matthews with 13k. This channel's not about, as in, being famous or making money off the back of it. This whole channel is about my journey of, as in, my life, plus also the journey of doing YouTube and also doing my hobby, my main hobby, which is phones. Now, the thing is, the last couple of months or whatever, the phones have started to take over the whole room, and this is why a lot of the gifts, whatever, items from the wheel haven't went out. But they will go out. They will go out eventually. And no, I did not spend the shipping pot fund money. It is safe this time. The last time I spent it, and I spent it on coins. So we have coins for the game. So don't worry about that at the moment. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to downsize at the moment, as in the space, because I have built up so much stuff in spaces and packed it in spaces or whatever else, and I do not have the space now, and I need room to move. And this is the whole idea. But the whole idea that happens, that sometimes what will happen is I will have donor phones and decide I'm going to use these donor phones up. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll buy a couple of phones or that specific model off eBay. Now, when I go and buy them, I don't buy them as fully working. I've always bought them as either untested or spares or repair. But I noticed there's a lot of changes on eBay, and people are frightened of buying goods on eBay because they see parts only, or it's saying parts only. Do not never be scared of that. Yes, he did. And I did a video for it, Huey. I did a video for it, and I actually bought one off Huey didn't want the money. Huey went, I don't want paid. No. I just cover me for the postage. I went, no, Huey. Much as that pen, because Mum wanted one. Mum saw mine's and decided that she liked one as well. So I says to her, which one did you like? Huey sent me over pictures, and we then took another one, as in she's got a blue. Hers was blue, but she didn't like the light blue. She went, that light blue, it's no 100% that colour. And she went, oh, but I like that one. And I was like, here, that one. She's picked that one. Give me that one. We've not got just one. We've actually got two. Mum's got one as well. I gave Huey I think 18 or £20. I was quite happy because I was like, well, time to make it up. And then the materials, as in the materials, because you sent them the middle bit, but then you still got to put the ends on it, the front end and the back end. And I thought, well, he's got to buy the bits to put it all together. So I went, well, if I pay for materials, that'll help him. I do it with anybody. If I'm going to buy something off him because I like it, I usually turn in so much as it. And if I think that it's too much money, I don't like offending people. So I'll tend to say, well, I can afford that, but what if I pay for the materials, as in so that they've got enough materials to then make more of them? Because that's the whole idea behind something. No, I want to explain what the title was about, as in the takeover, as in the actual when it said about the takeover. Plus, also, I wanted to actually let people understand that you don't have to have a lot of money to do a certain hobby, or to start a hobby up, or to start something that you enjoy, because you only need to have little knowledge on something of a topic or a hobby that you enjoy, that you are into or interested in. And this is what happened to me. No, because I see Hazy Days is live. I know. Aye, because that was like the other week. There's two there. Those are not two to be tested. They're a beautiful one. I bought a sofa guy. I gave him, was it £11? I think I gave him. I think it was 11. I think it was 11 for these two. There's one there. 66.80 in really nice condition. I think two of them, but this one's a bit better condition than the other two. There are ones you can see the buttons are a bit rough. This one's the buttons are perfect on it. All I need to do is take that sticker needs to come off the back yet. That's the 66.80, and there's a 611. 611. That's my own. They weren't. It wasn't done like that. It wasn't done like this pack. Like this, I done that. I took it out. I didn't want, because it takes too long to actually get something out of a package or whatever. I thought if I open it up, then the package is already done. There's that's blue. That's metallic blue. I've never seen one this colour, as in with silver and metallic blue. I've seen the black, I've seen the silver, I've seen the pink, but never the metallic blue. As in, it's got the metallic blue inserts in it, as in top and bottom. That's to be tested as well. It's a wee bit rough on the back end, as in a wee bit rough, because that's the whole idea of the takeover is about the phones. But the thing is, people go, but hold on a minute, you do coins. There's plenty of people, I know plenty of people that's into the coins or into the coin community or actually have or understand coins more than they do phones. But how many people is there into phones? I don't know. This is the whole idea. I'm thinking there must be more people on YouTube, because I see other channels who are bigger than me, a lot bigger than me. And I'm thinking there must be more people that's into that kind of stuff. because the price of Nokia stuff, as in the older stuff like that, the prices have actually gone up. They've actually gone up. Aye, probably you're right, fireman. Not many people are doing coins anymore because a lot of things have been happening in the coins realm or whatever, and then people are more into profiting from the coins, as in there's more auctions come about, and then you've got now what's not as well, as in what's not's wanting a lot of hosts, or they're looking for hosts to do it in their own channels, but under the whatnot name they're up to, because eBay's even changed their way of working. They now turn around and wanting to do that. I don't know if it's an idea that they've saw and thought about or whether it was planned. What they're doing is eBay were putting money into your account, so they were holding it and pending, but they've decided not to do that anymore. They've decided to put it into a retention pot that's on your account. So I don't know where they come up with that idea. I think I might know where it came from. I think I might know where it came from. As in, but when they've been looking at the wrong thing. There is an auction that was built, and it was called Change Checker, but it doesn't belong to Change Checker. It belongs to somebody that's known in the coin community. And the way that it was done is you have a pot of retention on their system where you can buy other goods on that platform. And it's slightly a wrong idea, because the minute you have a pending pot, what if that pending pot goes too much and eBay to turn around and say, you're not getting your money, you're not getting your money out of that retention pot, because they're saying you've been laundering money and the amount of stuff that you've been putting on it, because you're putting items on eBay to resell it to get space in your. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be a normal person and you want to get rid of stuff and you decide, I'm not going to bin it. It's too good for to bin. So you decide, I'm going to sell it or make a wee bit of money off it or my money back from it. So you decide to put it on eBay, but then you can't get your money out of eBay. What do you do then? So they want to put it in a retention pot. A retention pot is a balance, right? So I don't understand, why did they change over from putting it in your bank account to deciding to put it into a retention pot on their system? So they've seen it somewhere, but maybe they weren't looking in the right places or the right place, and maybe they thought it was the proper change checker and decided, well, they're doing it, we'll do it. Because that's what I'm thinking happened. They've looked at something and went, oh, this is a good idea. Because Nick and Andrea, who I started watching, right now, I've not got them on as subscribed, as in like when you did a sub part or sub party. But I watch Nick and Andrea's. Nick and Andrea's is a good channel, right? Nick and Andrea do buying and selling on eBay. They're actually a seller on eBay. So they do a live stream or whatever about the things that's coming up, the things that's new on eBay, what's happening on eBay, and what the changes are happening on eBay itself. Now, the only reason I'm talking about eBay is because I was originally, before I came to YouTube, was an eBay seller, right? eBay seller. I didn't use social media, I didn't use social media presence. I done it on my own back, as in starting from scratch. Nothing, not a thing, not a thing. And this is what I want to talk about, as in saying about you don't have to have a lot of money to start something up, as in you want to, you enjoy, or you have a passion in, you have a passion in. Now, you do not need to make fortunes from that. You can make enough money to cover your expenditure in and out without any problems. If you do it right, I do it for the affordable. I do it for people that can't afford a lot of money. I do it for that. But I do it because I enjoy it. I always do enjoy it. I'll buy things like there's another one. They're a Samsung. And then it says, but I don't sell them as fully working items. I don't sell them. No reason I don't sell them as fully working, because I don't want people, as in, getting their expectation levels all the way up there, and they think, oh, I'm getting an item that has been fully tested and everything's fine, mate, and it is. Because with a used item, there could be a fault there, especially if you're manually testing it and you don't know the fault is there. So I always put them on as I said, there it says there it shows, as you can see, there's the bag, there's the label, it's upside down, the label, back to front. There it says Samsung S5, power okay, screen okay, digitizer okay, as in charging okay, no cracks in the digitizer whatsoever, and I can actually power it up. I know that's what I was thinking, G. I was actually trying to get I thought about it in my head, and I was like, what can I call this live streaming? And that's what I was thinking, taken over by aliens, and I'm thinking, taken over. I thought, I'll just put, I've been taken over by who? Phones. I've been taken over by the phones. It's getting out of control. You go into the other room and it's like, oh no. And now I can't stop because it's like an addiction. Go on eBay. I only went for a look. I only went for a look. I went for a look to see prices, right? To see prices on eBay, and pressed on my watch list, and notifications were popping up saying this is on your watch list, and it says before you lose the whatever. Huh. You need to JP. You, what to do is, can you give Shay permission to get in touch with me with Messenger and send me a link? Send me a link to Chris Waters, and then I'll get in touch. Then I'll get in touch with him and see if he will. Because it'd be nice to do. This is what I do. This is what I do for our community. I'd rather take something off of somebody and show them, and do like a product review of a handmade item and say, by the way, I like this because it A, blah, 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 and explain it and how it was done. As in, so that, because this is all the whole idea, is so the community grows. I don't do the YouTube for as in to make money or be famous off it. I do it because I want to put out people that are good in what they do. Like JP. JP loves doing woodworking. Huey loves doing turning things on a lathe. And then he's done the one with Toblerone. You need to see the one that Hugh's. I don't know if he's put it on his YouTube channel, but it's on it. I saw it on his Facebook with the Toblerone, and I'm thinking, "What's your finger, Hugh?" When he was putting it through the bandsaw, I was absolutely like in stitches. Now Hugh actually sent that to Toblerone, and Toblerone were fascinated by that one that Hugh did, and they put it in their community on their community thing, as in Toblerone. Now that makes me go wow, as in a big company recognizing Hugh and saying we want that video, or we want that video in that community section. I've never seen the one with the vacuum cleaner, JP. I saw the one with the Toblerone. As in, I, I seen it in the notification or it popped up. I'm on Facebook and I sees this reel. That's your Hugh. And I was like, and I'm like, what's your fingers? Was he putting it through? And he done the music to it or whatever, as in something with Toblerone or whatever. How many ways to got your Toblerone? And he's putting it through the band. So I'm like, what's your fingers? He's putting it through. But I thought it was quite comical, as the way it was done. The way it was done, I thought that's comical. I thought that's really something else. But as I'm saying, the takeover's not a sponsorship, so don't get any ideas. Oh, it's now going into a sponsorship. I do not want a sponsorship because I know how much work goes into that sponsorship, and I'm like, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to start doing a sponsorship or after a sponsorship comes about, and I don't want to be taken over by people telling me what I'll do and what way it'll go. If I'm going to do a product review, I want to do it honestly, as in how I feel about it. It's like me doing feedback to a couple of them as in this week, and I went, I'm putting neutrals. But although that I bought them as spares or repair, it's not the seller's fault. Spares or repair could mean that it's knackered. It could have a fault. It might not even power up. So I've took it thinking, hold on a minute, that's clean on the outside. It's clean on the outside, or it looks clean on the outside. It looks as if it's complete. But whether somebody's been into it or not, I don't know. And that's the way I've always bought stuff. I either buy it untested, parts not working, or parts only. But when I buy it parts only, it has to be complete. It has to be complete. I try not to make sure it's been touched by somebody else, because you don't know if somebody else has touched it. You don't know what's been done to it, what's not been done to it, and whether there's parts missing inside it. You don't know. So when you start messing about with it, you're thinking, because the first thing I do is when I take a phone in or when I get an item in, I'm assessing it. How good does it look? Would I be able to resell it again to somebody else? And I'm assessing it and thinking, well, it's not up to my expectations, but it could be made better. It may, because I've seen stuff on eBay and there's no bids, and I'm thinking, in my own head, I'm thinking, why has that not got a bid on it? But then I'm thinking it's got 6 days left on it, or sometimes I've seen I buy it now and I went, well, buy it now, put that on the watch list, and then it's come another 10% off it. Because that's what happens now. When you put something on your watch item list, it comes up. If you not bid on it or not bought it now and it's still on your system, what happens is it has a 10% reduction that comes in saying, if you like this item, 10% been taken off. So sometimes I'm looking at it but I like to buy it, or the best, not to buy it now, is the best offers. put a best offer in for there. And sometimes I've seen me being really cheeky and seeing it at, say, for an item at $12.99. I went, I give you six for that. I give you six for it. Because I'm like, well, okay, that's half its value, but it might be worth the 12 because it could be worth more than 12. So I'm like, I'm not being cheeky. I just, well, I'm being cheeky, but whether the seller takes that and declines it is up to them. Because it was like that one, well, what was it? It was put under Nokia 611 in black, and it was put as toy not working as a toy, something to that effect. And it was like £2.99 or something, or £2 odd or something it was. And I looked at it. So I sent a message because now it's like it's eBay's become like a chat on their messages now. So it's like a little box at the bottom, and I put, "Is that a real phone?" And I never heard nothing about it, and I thought, worth bidding in that. I thought, cause it's clean, it's all complete. I thought I could use it for another Zadona. I thought maybe have a good screen in it, because sometimes the old Nokia stuff, the screens go white in them. They go white, just go totally white. It's not it's something about the connectors or something to do with it. It's between the solder, the connector, and the pin-out points, as in where it connects onto the ribbon or onto the screen. It's not the actual screen itself, and it usually goes white. So usually what I try and do is pick up a half-decent screen I can change over or swap over, because you don't know whether it's the screen, the PCB board, the ribbon. It might have a secondary board, because the 611s, on the Nokia 611, they actually have like a slide door. And what it is it's got a screen, and then inside it, it's got like a secondary slave board that goes onto the back of the screen, and then it connects with a ribbon, and the ribbon goes for the top slider and goes through onto the bottom board. And sometimes the ribbons, they get ripped. I've had one that I don't know if I ripped it or whether it was ripped already. It was part of it ripped. And I'm thinking it's because because where it goes under the plastic housing. So as you're moving it up and down, sliding it up and down like that, the ribbon's actually getting caught sometimes, as in as it's getting slid up and down all the time, because the ribbon's like it's about that long, and I think it's about that wide. Sorry, that wide, and about that long, the ribbon connector. And I'm like, well, obviously it's sliding up and down. It's getting trapped sometimes back and forward, because it needs to be tight enough so that the plastic housing doesn't hit it, and especially if it goes, because it goes PCB board from the bottom, it goes round like that, and then it goes up and over, so it's getting caught sometimes. And I thought, oh, I wonder if that's maybe the fault. Sometimes I always have a donor for bits, I thought. But I found out that that's like doing these fruit machines, as and I've seen a guy that's got a YouTube channel, and he repairs fruit machines, or he redoes them up. But he also has an arcade unit, and that's what you usually find, that a lot of stuff, it's like having a car and you buy it. It's cheap enough. You buy it and think, do something with it. So you buy it and then you have problems with it or whatever else. As in, because you don't want to spend a fortune buying something that's because when a lot of people don't realise that when you buy a car from a garage or a forecourt, you lose 10 or it's 10% or 20% its retail value as soon as you take it off that forecourt. So it's like you buying a brand new motor, because I've had people that's bought a brand new motor and says, "Oh, I've had this thing in the garage, constantly in the garage, it's back in and out." As in, for the first 4 years of a brand new car, you'll have symptoms because it's bedding itself in. It's bedding itself in, and it ends up, it can have multiple problems for the first 4 years of its life. And I've had people that's turn and say, "Oh, I bought a 4-year-old car and it's been as good as gold," because the problems have been sorted out in the last 4 years that car was built. Because I had a woman, and we're overhearing a conversation. Me and my ex-partner were sitting down, we drew to the nursery, and we overheard this conversation, this woman talking, and she went, "I decided to buy a brand new motor." She said, "It was the worst thing I ever done. She part X'd her old motor in or whatever. She said, "I wish that I just kept the old motor, the other one that I had originally, instead of trading it in." I traded it in, got so much off it or whatever, bought this brand new motor, and she says it's never out the garage. She says, "I don't even have a chance. I've not even had a chance to properly drive it." She says, "All it is back in and forth, as in for all sorts of problems." She says, I wished in it. That's what she said. "I wished I'd never bought the motor in the first place." And after hearing that story, I thought, quite interesting story, that. I thought I never even gave it a thought of that certain issue or somebody saying that in front of you. But I'm not giving up. I'm not going to give up the coins. I'm not giving them up. I'm just taking a back seat at the moment. I've had a couple of boxes of stuff. I think I bought a couple of other bits off of Joe, as in the last time I was at the auction. I try not to go to the auction. Oh, and the other thing I was going to talk about is changeover. I had a letter from where I get my money from, and I was told in the letter that if I didn't do the changeovers by February, they would stop my money. So I got myself in a flap and I phoned them up, and it was a helpline. So I phoned the helpline up and they says, "You've got until February to do the changeover." And I says, "No, I'd rather do it now." So done it over the phone, and they couldn't find my details or identify me. So they says, "We'll have to pull you into the office to identify who you are." So I went down and it was fine, done the identification, signed the whatever I had to sign, signed it, come back up the road. About a week later, I get this letter in. During the week, this letter in. "We've been trying to, where your UC claim," which I hadn't even been on UC, not in a moment. I'm only redoing it or changing over to UC from ESA claim. They turned around and said that we're going to close my online account, which is supposed to have an online account, which I couldn't remember the sign-in details or the login details. Was told, "Well, you'll be blocked out if you do the phone call." So he gave me my 2 passwords or whatever, so that they could know who I was. So I phoned him up and says, by the way, I've had this letter, but I don't know where the letter came from. Don't know where the letter came from, saying that my UCI account's going to be closed. But yous have tried to contact me by phone numerous occasions, and couldn't get hold of me. So I went on the phone, spoke to the guy, told him what the situation was, and he says, I'll put you on hold. And he went away for ages. And he says, I'll put you on hold for the next 2 minutes or whatever it was. It felt like a long time. And he went away. And he went away to check or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, I says to Mum, he's away to a manager or somebody up further than him. And eventually come back and says, no, everything's fine. He says, well, I've received this letter. He says, there is a website in the Gov website site to report this. And Mum's thinking the worst when he's turning and says to report the, obviously, the slip or whatever the letter that I'd received. So when I says to him about the phone number, because Mum's now worried that maybe this is a scam by this time, as because he's saying about report this incident to the Gov website. And I explained to him the phone number. And he went, oh, the phone number's correct. He went, the phone number's correct. He says, but whatever they sent you, so I'm wondering if it's been a clerical error by either somebody who's a client advisor in the job centre, or whether it was automated by the computer itself, which I don't know. Because when he checked the account or the claim, he says everything's come back and it's fine. And I thought, that's a blooming mystery, that. Because I'm just going by what they're sending me. As in, because they're telling me to do these changes by UC, but what they've done is my old claim is stopped. So my old claim is stopped, which I was on ESA, and now I have to wait over the Christmas period. So I've got to wait 5 weeks, over 5 weeks, to get my fortnightly money that I was entitled to. And I was like, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare of coming off of something, because they're telling me that if I didn't do it by February, that I would receive no money whatsoever. So I went and done it early so that basically in 5 weeks' time, I then have the money that I'm entitled to by the government, because the PIP that I get doesn't affect the ESA. Because I could never understand that, right? You're entitled to that benefit, but you're also entitled to that benefit. I thought you weren't allowed to claim two benefits, but they're telling me that PIP does not affect ESA. So they don't look at the PIP claim. But I get paid that once a month. I get paid that once a month. I don't want people thinking that I'm on a fortune. That's not the thing at all. I'm using the money that I'm given and using it wisely to my benefit. Because I enjoy doing coins and I enjoy doing phones as well. But the phones is for to go back on eBay. And that's why I started doing eBay again, because I'm thinking, well, if nobody's going to put into the shipping pot fund, then it means then that I have to pay out if somebody wins an item. If somebody wins an item, I then have to put it out of my pocket for to send it to them if they're not in the USA, because it's cheaper. It's cheaper for me to send things out in the UK than it is for me to send bits in USA, but I didn't want to make the USA lot feel sectioned out because obviously the shipping cost. So I was like, well, if you help a bit with the funds, then we all win at the end of the day. We all win at the end of the day, because that's why I did it and done it that way, because it said you can't profit. You can't profit from the coins. If you're profiting from the coins, you need a business account. And it said raffles are a grey area, and so is spots is another grey area. Spots as well. So you either have to not tell nobody and hope you get away with it. Hope you get away with it. And I decided, well, I'm not going to do a spots. We're not going to do spots, as in you have to pay to get on the wheel, and you're not going to think, you're not going to just like, well, something is to give, because I'm buying the coins. I'm not asking for things for free. That's what when JP did that other thing, that resin, he did it out the goodness of his heart and gave it to you and says, look, these blocks of resin or whatever I'm sending them to you because he's a friend of Hughie's or whatever and wanted to do something for Hughie. He gave it to Hughie. Hughie then made something out of it, and Hughie's not profiting from it either. Hughie's just doing it because he likes doing it. Plus, it gives him something to do on his wood turning lathe or his lathe. Plus, also he's doing something that he enjoys doing, and it's something that he can send out to somebody if he wants. That's up to him. But if he doesn't have the money to fund for materials, how is he supposed to buy materials to do whatever he enjoys doing? So you've got to either subsidise it or something else to make it affordable so that you can have the materials for it. It's like turning around and saying to a man, I want you to do a plumbing job, but I'm not giving you anything for materials or for the labour. Well, how am I supposed to help you? So you want me to do it for free? So you want me to come to you, as in use my petrol to come to you to see the job, estimate it, and then go and get the materials. But you don't want to pay for the materials or the labour, but you still want it done. So you want it done for nothing. No, life doesn't work that way. You always, when you get something for free, there's always a catch. Because that's what Mum used to say to us. We used to say, oh, but that's free, Mum, that's free. No, it's not. Look the small print. Look the small print of that. And then when you look at the small print, it says just for $3.95. So you have to send two tokens or whatever it was, and then you need to send $3.95 into them for postage and packaging. So you weren't, so it wasn't free at all. It wasn't a free gift at all. It wasn't a free gift at all, unless it was inside the cornflakes box. As in them, it was free because it was inside the cornflakes box. But it might be a plastic thing. But they were wanting to collect them because that was something for them to use as a catch gimmick. So you buy more so you would go and buy more cornflakes, because that was the whole idea behind it, was to put them in it so that you had to collect all four. So you bought more cornflakes or whatever it was, the product, so that they were making the money off the product itself. It's a gimmick that's been done for years. It's an advertising gimmick. There's always an advertising gimmick being used somewhere along the line for to catch your eye. And that's what a lot of the chauffeur family, the way that they do it is they have the dancing lights or whatever and the music. That's to draw your attention to go on that ride. No matter what the ride costs, because they're only trying to make a living, and they maybe have to put up the prices or whatever because they have the maintenance of the machine, the testing of the machine, because they've got to pack test it or they test it so it make it safe, the ride safe. You've got diesel costs, and then you've got their time as well involved in it to keep it running. And then they've got employees as well. Sometimes employees that have paid for to watch that ride or whatever to run that ride, because it might not be the show person that's running the ride. It might be an employee that's working it for them. So they've got to pay all that out. And that's what you've got to remember. They're trying to keep the costs to a reasonable level so that you come on or whatever as in the ride. And that's sometimes what I find, that I'm like, well, when my dad turned and said about him being a show person, was I a show person or not? Or was I of the Horsey family and he just happened to be related onto the chauffeur family? Because I do like going and looking at rides. Because I'm actually thinking about going to the Iron Brew Carnival this year. And the last 2 or 3 days of the carnival, or the Iron Brew Carnival, it used to be free to get in the doors, but you have to actually pay at the box to get in it, unless you leave it to the last 2 days. And it means then that not a lot of the machines is going to be there in the last 2 days. And I want to see it because they said 62. They said it was 62 rides was going in there this year. 62 rides. So I think it's in 3 halls this year. I think it might be in 3 halls this year, as in for to get them all in 3 halls. And they're massive halls as well. And I want to be able to video, as in like the artwork and all that. The artwork. It's not the rides themselves. I want to video the artwork because I love the billboards, as in going across all the billboards and actually looking at all the billboards and all the artwork and how it's done, as in the artwork itself. Because I always love the scroll patterns and all that, because in the old on the waltzers, they used to have a scroll pattern or the way they go, and it's like ribbons and tails, fancy tails and all that carry on. Was my dad used to show me a lot of the calligraphy a way back, and the calligraphy, and he was really good at it, doing it. And he used to sit there and say, look, son, watch this. And the tails and all that, or the fancy tails and that. And he says to me one day, I says, can you actually do that? He went, mm-hmm. He says, but I don't really have the time to sit and do it all, as in because it takes time. He says, but when you do sign writing, he says, you actually use a brush. He says, but you cut it in such a fashion so to actually use it like a fine pen or a fine feather. He says, then you use your ball. Your ball is basically like a guide. He says, this is like a guide, as in that ball. He says, but actually doing it, he says, it's a lot of work that goes into it. He says, but it takes a lot of skill to eventually get as good for to be able to do it and not make mistakes on it. And I was like, because he done a pub. Man, I seen it getting done. It was quite a few years ago. And there was a guy outside and he was doing the artwork or the brushwork on the front of the pub. And he was sitting with the proper brush and the ball. I seen him with the ball, as in the actual ball, and he up doing it with the gold leaf or the gold writing and all that, or the gold brushwork. And I was like, wow, that is something else. And that's why I like a lot of the old artwork. But a lot of the new artwork is getting done by an art brush or an art gun, but it's a small like a small art gun, spray gun, like, but it's well done. A lot of the artwork, because it's like Wilmot's get air raid, he's got air raid, normal air raid, and he's got air raid. I think air raid 2 now, air raid 2, air raid 2. I saw the videos for air raid 2. It getting done in the factory when the manufacturing company that actually done air raid 2, and then they done all the, I don't know who done the artwork, where they sent the artwork out and then they sent it back to the manufacturing company to make the pay box. But they done a fantastic job of the pay box, and also the middle section. The middle section had been all done as well, and I was like, wow. I was like, ah. And then there's like extreme. It get done up, I think, 6 months ago or something. I think it was either 6 months or 8 months ago. It get done up extreme. I like to go and see extreme as well. As in the machine extreme. As in with it's get. I think it's get. Is it get four? Is it get 4 arms or 6? It's either get 4 arms or it's got six. It's got 6 legs on it, 6 arms on it with the chairs. As in that, and it's not the chairs. I want to see all the art. I want to see the artwork actually that's done on it. I actually sit and do a video. And actually, I don't think a live stream I'll do. It's more of a video, probably videos on the phone, because I'll do them on the phone. Then what I usually do is when I come back, usually what I'll do is I'll send it to my Facebook Messenger and send it through that way, so that I basically got the video footage. That's how I done it last. That's how I done it last time. Because I actually done it on the phone. The Super Bob one. Actually, Super Bob. Nah, I done it on the phone. I actually done it on, because my other account's not attached to this one. I done it the video on the phone, then took it for the phone onto the. I was like, how did I get it? I was like, how did I get this on? I was like, how did I do this? And I was like trying to figure it out. And I'm like, how am I going to get these videos on the actual phone itself? Trying to find it. Super Bob ones. That one's a bit squiggly. Is that Animal Kingdom? That's. I think that's. I don't think that's a video. I don't think that's a video, but that's Animal King. That's Animal. That's Animal King. Animal King. Animal King. Animal Kingdom. As in the Animal Kingdom. And this one. And that's Walmart. That's Walmart. Crane ball. What's the video? What? I can see it. I'm trying to get it at the right light. It was a right windy day. It was a windy day when I done that one. You hear the wind. That's what I'm saying. There's the board up the top of it. Or a fancy billboard and that. The artwork. Because artwork looks at the bottom. At the bottom it's all just like white with splashes. Then you get the one that says Lucky Kings and all that. That's why I filmed it, just to get the top boards there. There wasn't any people on it. try to keep out the road of the people. Try to get shot of the billboards and that as in at the top. Because they're a lot, some of them are a lot machines. Then one another one. Have fun. They're flying. That's it's an old unit that. It's an old unit because it didn't look nothing when it's packed up. That unit doesn't look nothing when it's packed when it's actually packed up. The unit itself. Because Kim was standing there. There's Kim there, look, there's Kim. That's a super board. That is. I don't know what it is. It's just a thing that I got. As in where I like the artwork. It's something about the artwork because they always change the artwork. Every so often they change the artwork on them. That's the way of doing things. They've done that for years because it's all to do with the lights and the lights and the artwork. Draw people to draw people in. That's what they've always done it for a long time. Hugh's never seen the vacuum clean either. That's the point. It's still in the box, going on 4 years now. That vacuum is soon to become vintage and still in the box. I never even looked at the thing, mate. I never even looked at the. Usually I do look at the stream or look at the chat, but sometimes if I'm engrossed in what's on my mind, because this has been on my mind, and things have been on my mind, and me thinking about it because I'm wondering if it's worth saying to you guys what content would you really like? Would you like it on the phones, or would you like it rather on the coins? Because I'm trying to think what you guys would like better. The coins or the phones, because if nobody's really get any interest, I'll sort of do it behind the scenes and do that behind the scenes and just not put any content of the phones on it, because the whole idea was to show what was bought as, and so that you know, oh well, at least he's been doing something. He's got something to show, as instead of nothing and no video whatsoever. Because I'm thinking, it's getting on a bit. I'm thinking, that's the last 3 or 4 months, as in where I haven't put a video up or anything. I haven't actually. It's not consistent, or it seems as if it's not consistent enough. And I thought, I've got plenty of coins to do videos on, as in I could do as in a video as in showing one coin at a time, as in like that 1965. But the thing is, some of them sometimes it's a sealed package, and I don't like taking a sealed package apart unless it's come as in like that. Because there's one that says it's supposed to have a die chip. There's one that says it's supposed to have a die chip as in 2017 P. Because that one I was showing you, that's Leonardo. I don't know where that came from. I know where I got it from. There was a tabletop sale up in my bit, up in my area, and that's where I saw Leonardo, and I was like, oh, that's Leonardo, but I didn't know what was in the box. I just said, as much as the box, and they went, they were going to price it by taking it out. I went, no, how much is it altogether? Just give me a price, as and they went, £3. I'll give you £3. It's quite enough to get it out of my pocket, the £3, because I've seen bits and pieces in it, and I thought, oh, there's quite a few bits and pieces in it. That'll do all right for the showing for content. Because I don't know if there's another couple of coins or a collection for Leonardo. Because there's the three of them there. So I don't know where they came from at the start. It says Mirage. Mirage. And there's the copyright. Is this the copyright for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And they're saying Cowabunga on it. So I know there's another so many collection of that. And they're probably worth as in more if it was a full collection of them. Because that coin's probably got more numismatic value on it, on that coin itself. But it's not classed as a coin because it would be classed more as probably a token rather than a coin. Because it's like that one there, that's a token. That's what they call a token. That's an M&D. That's an M&D Taylor. MD Taylor. That's an amusements token. But they still have numismatic value on tokens and medallions. Because when it's got on it that, then it's different because that's classed as a coin because it's got a monetary value on it or a face value on it, although that it's got a numismatic value, which the numismatic value is a lot more than the face value of the coin itself. And it's like that one there, that 2017, where it's saying a die chip, but whether that's correct, I don't know. I know where to, I think the spray can, it checked them. Or somebody sent them to him and somebody checked him, supposed to have checked them. It says die check. It says die chip on the Liberty. Because there it's there. There it's there, you can actually see it. There it's there like a fracture. There's a fracture there. Going across, that's where the Liberty is. There's a fracture. The fracture goes for the E, where the E is. There's where it starts. It starts for the E. It starts for the E where inside the E and then runs up and then goes, as you can see, it goes through the top of the T. And it's through the top of the T, as you can see, as in where the break is. And goes through, runs through. That's why sometimes we use a microscope is to check for that, as in to see the break. But I'm only showing it because that's what interests me, as in actually showing it and people going, oh, but no, that's wrong, this is that, and explaining it to me, which I love. I love a debate. I love a debate between people. I love a debate. As long as it's not a fight or a you know better than anybody else type of deal, I don't mind. I love when it's a debate between two people and they're like, well, no, you could be wrong, no, it could be that. As in, that's what you call a debate. They're not saying that you're wrong, and he's not saying, oh, well, I'm right and you're wrong. It's a case of, well, no, I don't think it's that way. It's maybe, possibly, as in more this way. And he's explaining it exactly why he thinks or why he or she thinks that. And that's what I love. love the debate that goes on. It starts an argument. I'm like, I don't want to be involved in that. I'd rather fucking walk away for that rather than we get into that, because it'll just be that, as in, you've got to decide who's right and who's wrong, what side you're on. I can't be bothered with all that carry on. If two creators can't get on, as in walk your own separate ways and don't be involved with each other, but don't bring all the supporters or all the followers into it as well. As you drag them into it as well, as in who's right and who's wrong, who said what, and what was said on what date, and you've got to go back and start looking, as in the live streams that show where they've not deleted them, so you can see what happened for your own eyes, because you've got to make up your own decisions in life. Don't let other people make the decisions for you. Don't believe everything that everybody tells you. Sometimes it's fabricated. Sometimes people fabricate things to make it sound better or make it sound worse than what it actually was. That's what I can't go. I'm like, I know that drama sells. Drama sells on YouTube. It's like watching a soap opera, as in, and they making up a story. Now that could have a die crack. There could be a die crack there. Or was that supposed to be there? No, I think that's supposed to be there. I thought it could have been running through that building right there, because I've never seen that line before. Sometimes that line's not there. That line in that building. Usually you don't see that line so clearly on some of them. The line's going through that building. Sometimes it'll miss that line out. Because it depends how hard it hits the die on the design to show everything out, or to bring every detail out. And if it's hitting it harder or going running faster at the time, you might not get that line there running right through, because it runs right through there and then it follows as if it's going over there, and it follows over to that pillar and starts for that pillar right through. Because the way they see the full steps is basically you have to see all the lines on the steps, as in there should be at least 5 or 6 lines. So you should be able to see the whole clarity of the lines. That's why they call them full steps on the Monticello. Should be full steps on it. Because that's where you get the grades from. The better the grade, the more money the coin is worth in numismatic value. Because that's only a nickel. It's only worth 5 cents. Really? Only worth 5 cents to the bank or to the general public. But the numismatic value can be far greater than the face value of the coin itself. Because some of them is NIFT, not intended for circulation. And some of your coins are British coins. Some of them are the same. Some of them weren't intended. They were supposed to be in special packages, as in as a complete set. Some of them, that's why I say NIFT. Because I've looked at a few Facebook reels and seen a few people talking about them. Right, I'm going to go, guys, because I've only got one person watching, so there's only one person interested in what I'm talking about, because probably you have all went over to because Bungle's got a premiere. It says Bungle collects coins premiere. New Coins album update review of the 2025 50 pence guidebook merch channel merch and using a coin microscope. Because I follow a lot of people, different ones, because that's how I got into this, as in me following a few people and then end up finding, hold on a minute, I quite like these coins. I'm quite interested in these coins. I want to know more. I want to be able to see them up close. I don't want people actually to just let me see them as in underneath a microscope, as in that I'm not able to touch them or handle them. I want to be able to see them up close and personal, so I can actually see it myself to understand it more. Yeah, I'm away, guys. Bye. See you later. In stream. Outro video. Set outro video. No, even with StreamYards, you can't pre-record that, or you can't, as in you got to pay the extra for the recording, but you can set the intro and the outro. I'm not interested. I'm not.